guys, Arwen here. So today I wanted to talk about how to energetically move from one place to another. Should you burn the ships or should you create a bridge? So sometimes when I see people, wanting to go from one place to another, they're not able to figure out how to do it because they're not really aware of the emotions that they're having in their body and how they're feeling about the situation. So I notice this when I'm reading people or I'm talking to them about something, we're doing emotional clearing in some way. They are not, fully in touch with how they feel in their body and what's going on. So they don't really understand what their resistance is. Now, if you're wanting to manifest something in your life, it is very important that you are able to feel and discern what's going on inside of you and learn how to shift that. So it's kind of hard to shift if you don't even know what's going on. So sometimes I see people, they'll want to go from one place to another. They can't figure out how to do it. They don't understand what they're not noticing, what they're not feeling, what they're not seeing, and so forth. So what they'll do is they'll want to create this sort of burn the ship scenario, right? They'll do this thing where they're like, well, I'm just going to create a situation or a scenario where I can't go back, right? It's the metaphor that is in, I guess, mass consciousness, popular culture, whatever you want to call it, is the burn the ship scenario, where it's you land on this new island, well, you got to make it work, so you burn the ship so that you can't go back to where you were from. You have to make it work. It's that sort of thing. And that energy doesn't necessarily work for everyone. Some people, if you repeat the pattern of doing that over and over and over again, then that's probably going to work for you because that makes sense to you and you like to use that. But that doesn't mean that you have to do the burn the ship scenario in order to create change and transformation in your life. I feel a lot of times people feel they have to do that, whether it's right for them or not, when they can't energetically tap into what their resistance is because they're not really sure what the resistance is. They don't understand it. They don't know how to read it. What happens is then they feel they have to force the energy. And because they need to force the energy, they'll put themselves in some position where they're in a burn the ship scenario, where they let go of all their support, right? Of whatever the thing is that's been holding them. And then they jump off this cliff and then it's well, I better make it, right? And some people do well with that. People usually repeat patterns, so unless, of course, you change your subconscious stuff, then you don't have to repeat patterns. But if you do patterns like that, or you know of people that do patterns like that, and it works for them, then that's fantastic. But that doesn't always work for everybody. Not everybody's on that let's burn the ships page, okay? Some people are oh, they just don't feel safe doing that, or the thought of burning the ships triggers their fight or flight mechanism. It triggers their rah, right? And that's no good. That's not going to help you if you're that person. So anyway, point of my story here is that, you don't always have to take rash decisions. You don't always have to do these big things of burning the ships metaphorically and totally let go of something in order to get to this other place. You can do it in a more gentle way. You can do it in a more even keel way. You can do it in a more wow, that was so magical and amazing and everything just worked out in just the perfect way. If you are having trouble moving from where you are now to where you want to be, there could be multiple reasons for that, one of which could be you don't feel safe. You don't feel safe in order to go to the other side. And something that I do know, and that in order to manifest ease, in order to manifest grace, in order to manifest things working out for you, you do need to feel safe, okay? So as soon as your body feels safe and grounded, you'll easily move from where you are to where you want to be. The reason why you're not where you want to be is because your body feels safe where you are and terrified of where you want to go, okay? So by collapsing the patterns in between safety and bah, you can move to this new place and be energetically held, and everything can work for you, and it doesn't need to be that big of a deal, and it doesn't need to be a trauma, and it doesn't need to be difficult, and it doesn't need to be all these things, right? So when you're able to bring that feeling of safety and groundedness in the body and you're able to feel good, it will be easy to just move into that new thing. So a lot of times I feel people have the perception of, this is my reality and I've got to figure out what I need to do in order to get over there, as if reality's outside of you and you need to make choices or decisions to move these outside things and like clear these obstacles and in order to get over there. And then, okay, now that is a reality perception. That is not true in the ultimate sense. That is just one way to view reality. Another way to view reality is that everything is morphing and shifting and changing in order to help you. So as you make a decision, the thing materializes to carry you, right? So that is the perception of I'm always supported. Everything is always working out in my favor. Everything is always working for me. Every time I take a step, the footpath manifests. Every time I take another step, I get another stone to walk on. And so I have this nice, beautiful path that keeps materializing in front of me because I'm choosing and I'm making choices that are creating like this new thing as I go forward, go forward, go forward. So that being said, what I wanted to talk to you about today was creating an energetic bridge, okay? Creating an energetic bridge to bring you from where you are right now to where you want to go, right? So everything is created in non-physical first, and then it comes into the physical realm. So in order to go to where you want to be, you have to create a sense of safety in your body, all right? When you can really ground into and feel every time I take a step, I'm supported. Every time I take a step, circumstances and events kind of manifest around me in order to help carry me. And you can feel good with that, and you can feel supported in that, and that makes sense to you, and like you get that, you can easily move forward with confidence, knowing every time I take a step, I'm carried. Every time I take a step, everything is working out for me. So one of the ways that I move myself from one place to another is I created an energetic bridge. So everything is in tension. So let me think about how to say this. A lot of times you'll see people that go from one place to another place, and it looks like they did A, B, C, D, E, and F in order to get over here, right? And then what happens is that other people are like, oh, I want to do that too, right? So then they're like, oh, well, I just have to do what they did, which is A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then I'll get over there too. No, that's actually like not how it works. That's how it like looks like it works. That's not like actually how it works. How it actually works is that that person lined up their intentions and they decided they were going to do it no matter what. It didn't freaking matter what on earth was going on, but they were going to be over here, right? And that was just the end of that. Like, that was the end of that. And so then what happened is that because they were solid and because they were sure of themselves and because they were like, okay, I'm doing it, right? I'm all in energetically, mentally, emotionally, physically, like I'm going over there no matter what. This is the most important thing to me. Like, I'm already halfway over there energetically. What happened is that circumstances and events kind of moved around and changed, which helped them keep doing A, B, C, D, E, and F to get over there. And it looks like A, B, C, D, E, and F is what got them over there, but that's not actually what it was. It was their intention. It was their energy that called forth the opportunities for A, B, C, D, E, and F to actually occur in their physical reality, which then they then took, you know, the opportunities of A, B, C, D, E, and F, whatever those were, and then they got over here, and then everybody's like, hey, how'd you get over there? And then you're like, oh, that person might be like, oh, well, see, I did this, and then this, and then this, and then this, not realizing they pulled those circumstances and events into reality with their choices, with their energetic alignment and intentions, because they created an energetic bridge, and they didn't even know that they did it, right? So, bridges. Let's talk about bridges. You can create a bridge. You have to decide. You have to decide circumstances and events are going to support you. You have to decide that the ideas and notions in your head that you have that are stopping you aren't exactly true. You have to decide that your ideas about how this thing is holding you down and that person doesn't want you to do that and it's going to be hard and it's going to take a long time and then you're going to have to do all this work. You have to like remember that none of that's true. It never was. You just were thinking that it was, right? And when you're like able to snap back out of that illusion of those things being true, you can just energetically collapse those things, and it's so easy, right? And then you can shift your orientation and be like, oh, everything's just gonna support me now. Everything's gonna work out, and the next step is gonna come, and everything is gonna create it over. So, I personally am wanting to change something in my life and move to another place. So I've created an energetic bridge. What I did is, I actually drew a bridge. I'm going to show you my drawing of my bridge on a piece of paper and all of my beauty here. And I like wrote more of my intentions on it. But see, I did this in green pen, so it's probably hard to see. But I did draw a bridge, and I drew like a little pot of gold over here and like a heart because I want more love and more money at the end of the bridge because, like, why not? Of course I'm going to choose that. Hello. And then I got my little candles here because in order to call stuff in, I like to use candles. So the candles themselves obviously are not magical. They're just freaking tea candles from the store. But I infuse my intention in the candles, and so the burning of the candles is calling in the thing that I want. So these white ones are magical support. Everything just working out. Circumstances and events just weaving themselves around in order to work out in the most easiest, grandest way possible. And I don't even need to know what it is, right? It's just going to work. And these green ones I've decided are representing money. So I can have financial support. Of course I want extra financial support as I go across my bridge. And so I put all my little candles on my bridge that I've drawn on my sheet of paper, and at the end I've got this candle, which is my taller green candle, and this represents lots of money, right? So I definitely want like quadruple the money at the end. Why not? Of course. So that's my candle at the end. So all these candles are my energetic intentions, right? So I've put my energetic intentions on the paper. I've drawn the bridge. The paper is not magical. The bridge is not magical. These are things I've just made up, but my intention is magical, right? So me deciding and choosing to bring something into form, I'm like, okay, so what feels good to me? What do I know works? So I do a lot of energy work. So I know that doing the energy work stuff works. Every time I do it, it works. Like, of course it does, because that's how like reality works. So I am lined up and it makes sense to me because that's the way my brain thinks. My dominant archetype is Merlin. My dominant archetype is Merlin. It makes perfect sense to me. If you don't have any Merlin archetypes, you're probably not watching this video because you think I'm nuts. You're like, what is she even talking about? The girl doesn't know anything. It's probably because you're not a Merlin archetype. Working with energy is not your natural suit. Working with energy is like my second nature. It's more dominant than all my other archetypes, that's for sure. So it makes perfect sense to me. And when I let my intuition guide me and give me the ideas, the thoughts, the things just like manifesting and coming through my consciousness, I come up with like brilliant stuff, right? And it's not that, you know, any of these things I'm doing are freaking magical. They're not. It's that I am choosing what I'm wanting, and I'm lining up my energy, and I'm lining up my intention. And I know that when I've lined up my energy, my intention, my thought processes, my emotional body, and whatnot, what I choose to do is bring that into physical. How I choose to bring that into physical, my first step is doing some sort of ceremony, like my fuck this shit ceremony, or my like little bridge ceremony thing that I've just told you in a nutshell. Or like lighting a candle for my intention to like call in that thing. You know what I mean? Like I already know, I've already decided I'm manifesting more money this month. I've already done my little ceremony around that with my green candle. I know the money's coming, like it's not even a question. So with my little bridge ceremony, I know I want to go from over here to over there. So I know I can create that energetic bridge for myself. I know that I'll be carried. I know that circumstances and events are going to line up in just the perfect way to carry me to the other side. And my lighting of the candles is me bringing forth those opportunities, those events, those circumstances, all those things. Like I've energetically pre-paved it to happen. So I don't need to think about it. I don't need to control anything. I don't need to like, rah, you know, to reality. I can just be like, it's already done because I've already decided. I have lit the candles. I have created the bridge. I know at the other side there's going to be more money. So what I've done is I basically take them the fabric of reality, and I've just decided, okay, fabric of reality, this is what we're doing. We're going to the other side. It's going to be easy. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be even better than I thought it was, because my energetic intentions for the ceremony, for being on the other side to where I want to be, is there's more fun over there. There's more love over there. There's more money over there. It's so much fun. I'm being easily and effortlessly carried over there. Circumstances and events are just lining themselves up. Opportunities are lining themselves up. If I need to think differently or have a different perception, it's going to line itself up. If I need to meet a new person, it's going to line itself up. If I need to take this action or that action, it's going to line itself up. And when you do things like this, you know in your body that you cannot mess it up. You can't mess it up. It's not possible, because everything is calibrating and correlating to you. All circumstances and events are turning and shifting around to respond to you. You have to lead with your energetic intentions. You have to lead with what you choose. You are the leader, right? And then your reality is shifting and changing in order to follow suit, to manifest and create what you want. In order to do that, you've got to notice how you feel in your body. You have to notice, what are your feelings? What is it that you need? And when I was feeling into what it is that I need, I kept feeling, I need more support, I need more support, I need more support. And I was like, okay, well, what does that look like? And I wrote down some of the things that looks like in physical, right? Like, I'd like to have more Reiki sessions. I'm at 1 a month right now. I'm like, no, I'd like to have 2 or 3 a week. That sounds great. Well, all right, then I get to manifest more support. I get to manifest more money. I get to manifest all circumstances and events working out so that I can do that. That feels good to me. I love doing that, right? I decided I would like to go on more trips. Like, I loved going to the UK when I went in August. That was fabulous. I'd like more of that, please, universe, right? So you have to, let me think about how to say this. You have to notice how you feel, because that's how it starts. Like, getting in there and being like, what do I really need? Like, what do I really want? If I could have anything right now, what would it be? What would it be? And then you give that to yourself. You create that for yourself, right? And when you feel safety in your body, then it is so easy to like take the action that downloads into your head, do the things that like you know you need to do in order to move forward. And things just manifest out of nowhere. Like, they just easily come, right? When your energy is lined up, things just work. I kind of want to tell a story. I just don't know if I should tell the story on YouTube. I was deciding yesterday, I wanted a brownie. I wanted a brownie. And I was like, I guess I'll make some tomorrow. I don't know what I have to do. And then, you know, like, I needed to do some things last night. I didn't do those things in order to make brownies today. And then this morning, my friend knocks on my door. She's driving across the country. And she says, hey, I have these little chocolates for you. Do you want them? Oh, and will you give this to this person and this to that person? I'm like, oh, sure. So she gave me the little chocolates, which was really what I was wanting. Hope y'all are understanding that this is where the story is about. And I was like, oh, thank you. And so I got my wish anyway. Like, I was like, thanks. And so, like, the universe brought it to my door. Like, I was energetically lined up for the thing. I didn't even have to go to the store and like buy the brownie mix and the butter and the other things that I needed in order to make my brownies. They just showed up at my door. I was like, thanks, universe. That's great. So, you know, when you are lined up, like, people will knock on your door and they'll be like, hey, I have this thing for you. And you're like, oh, thank you so much. I was just wanting some of that. So that's how that works, right? When your energy's lined up, things just work. So this whole, oh, I have to like figure it out, or oh, I have to solve the problem. Don't do any of that. Forget solving problems. If you think you gotta solve problems, you don't understand how the universe works fully and completely in the most quantum way possible. So when your energy is lined up, the thing just happens, circumstances and events move themselves around, people come into your reality, ideas come into your head, you get the idea to go here, you get the idea to go there, right? So things they just work. You do need to follow your intuition though. You need to be in tune with what your intuition is telling you to do. Because if you do your intentions, like this little bridge ceremony, simple candle ceremony I'm like explaining here, the universe is like trying to give it to you, right? The universe is trying to give it to you. You're the one blocking it. You're the one blocking it. And the way to open up the portal to make it easier to manifest and come through is to clear your energy, right? And if you need to light candles and set intentions to clear your energy, then that's what you need to do. It's not that, you know, lighting candles is freaking magical, or doing my like little bridge ceremony thing here is magical. Like, it's just candles and a piece of paper, right? It's not the outside thing. It's the energetic intentions. When you get the energetics right, things just line up for you. Circumstances and events just kind of just magically materialize. I don't even know, like, I can't even explain how it happens. It just does. People knock on your door and like, hey, I have this thing for you. And you're like, thank you so much. But anyway, the main thing I wanted to explain in this video was creating, you know, the energetic safety to feel good, because your subconscious is only going to let you have what you feel safe to have. If you don't feel safe to have that thing, you are not creating it. Like, it's not coming. I mean, you're not going to get it until you figure out how to feel safe and chilled out. Okay? So, you know, I kind of want to tie this back into what I said at the beginning about the burning of the bridges, or excuse me, the burning of the ships analogy, that I was bringing up. If people tell you, or you've thought in the past, I guess I need to pull the rug out from under me, or I guess I need to, like, quote unquote, set the ships on fire so I can't go back, like I have to go forward, like I'm forcing myself to go forward, you're probably doing that because you don't understand how to change your resistance between you and the thing that you want, right? Because when you know how to collapse the resistance and make it easier, then you don't have to burn the ships. Like, it's not necessary. Creating a crisis to get yourself to move to a new energetic space is not necessary. It's kind of like, you know, if you don't want to leave the house, like you're terrified of leaving, this is an analogy, by the way. You're terrified of leaving the house, but the only way you know to get yourself to leave the house is to set the house on fire, because if the house is on fire, well, you're more afraid of the fire than you are of the house, then that'll spring you into action. That's like forcing things to happen because you haven't energetically dealt with whatever, like, your issue is that isn't letting you, like, easily create the thing. You should be able to easily create the thing in a very short period of time. If you're not able to figure out how to do that within, like, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks, and you still haven't figured it out and moved, you haven't lined up the energy. You haven't lined up the energy. And I mean, like, a month, 6 weeks for something like fairly larger that might take you a minute to get your energy lined up for. For little things that can happen instantaneously, like me deciding that I wanted brownies yesterday and then them materializing this morning in the form of chocolates. It's just like that with things that you're so just, like, open and available for. They just show up really, really fast in a couple of days. I'm sure you've done that before. I'm sure you've noticed that, you know. So if you are wanting to manifest something bigger or go from, like, this thing over here to, like, over here, and this feels like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? You've got to energetically collapse those things in the middle, and then energetically bring in the safety, energetically bring in the magical support, energetically bring in circumstances and events working out for you, energetically bring in that feeling of, oh, that was so easy. Why did I make that so hard? That was so easy. Why did I make that so hard? Okay? So all these outside circumstances and events and things that people tell you that you need to do to accomplish something, 90% of it is bullshit. You don't need to do any of that. There's, like, only a really small amount that you need to do. So when I move into my body, when I move deep into my body and I feel like, what's true for me? Like, what is the truest thing for me? It feels to me like it's just, I have to do so little to create what I want to do or what I want to, like, have going on in my reality here. It's so small. It's really a little bit. It's just that if I don't create it in a short period of time, it's because I just haven't paid attention to the thing that matters, which is my energy, my energetic alignment, and how my body feels about the situation and what I want to do on a like a bodily level. I'm not talking about head stuff. I'm talking about, like, feeling stuff. Like, what does my body want to do? Okay? Because my body is like the 100-pound elephant, and your ego is like this rider on the elephant, and you got to get the elephant to move, not the rider. The rider's, like, you know, the elephant has more pull than the rider, is what I'm trying to say. Right? So it's like, you got to, like, tune in and talk to that elephant and be like, hey, elephant, what do you need right now? Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? What feels good? What feels nourishing? You know, what feels safe? Like, that reptilian brain, that deeper part of you, it needs to feel safe and grounded and solid. And so it's up to you to create that safety and that solidness so that things are easy, so that they just flow. Like the little bridge thing I was talking about. I've just energetically created a bridge. I've created my intentions. Circumstances and events are going to work out in the most beautiful way. I'm going to move it to the other side of the bridge. It's going to be a delight. And I'm going to get over there and I'm going to be like, wow, that was so easy. That was so easy, right? So now I'm believing more in the bridge than I was in the resistance. Now I'm believing more in that, oh my God, I'm already on the other side of this. And that was, like, literally so easy. And I know, like, because of the way I do energy and I set up my energy containers and my sessions and so forth, that, like, when I'm going to light those candles, I'm going to let them burn, and then I'm going to burn the paper underneath them when I'm done. Of course, outside safely on the pavement with water, okay? I'm not doing this in the house. But, you know, I'm going to do that, and then, like, I know that it's done. It's, like, energetically done. Like, my intentions are set, circumstances and events are going to work out, source energy is self-intelligent, and I know that it's gonna be fine, and there's, like, no big deal, right? Like, that, like, I know that works more than, like, trying to force and, like, do all this quote-unquote action to, like, make things work and put things into place. Now, am I saying you shouldn't do action? No, I'm not saying you shouldn't do action, but I am saying you need to line your energy up first, because when you line your energy up first, then your action works. When you don't line your energy up, then your action doesn't work. This is not the action. The illusion is that it's the action. It's not the action, it's the energetic alignment, and then everything is so easy. And people knock on your door and give you chocolates. Okay, so yeah. Yes, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. So good. All right. I am excited because I have decided to open up 5 spots for one-on-one energetic like healing and transformation, and I'm going to call it up level. I've got no sales page. I haven't done any of that because it's not the sales page. It's my energetic intent, and I'm like really excited. So I've got my container set up like in my mind energetically. I'm still like fleshing that out and creating that. But so here, right, okay, so I want to have more clients and do more fun stuff. So what I have done is I've set up the energetic containers, right, for the clients and the results that the clients are going to get, right? Very, very important. If you want clients that have fantastic results, you need to be a vibrational match. It's not just the clients, but be a vibrational match to having clients to get fantastic freaking results, right? Like, I am not available for people that don't get motherfucking fantastic, like beautiful, epic results. Like, it's just like, not a thing in my reality, right? So you can either be a vibrational match to things working or a vibrational match to things not working. You got to be a match to them working. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I am setting up the energetic container for that, and it feels very exciting and it feels very fun. And I have to finish creating the energy for that. Like, I've gotten started, but I was like, oh, I need to do this thing. I need to like thread my shamanic drum a little later. Got a couple things I need to do. But anyways, I am going to be opening that up soon, so keep your ears and eyes peeled. I'm super excited about it. I think it'll be like the best thing ever. Yeah, it'll be the best thing ever. Okay. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.